When you're in the river, in the current, and you want to go against it, I don't care how great of a swimmer you are or powerful person you are. At some point, the current takes over you. But all that period that you struggled against the current was wasted instead of enjoying it. Why not just surrender? And to surrender is to just let the brush play on the canvas, let the fingers play the notes. Stop the control. To get to a point that knowing that somebody much more powerful, some energy much greater is taking care of me. So what do I have negative against it to say it won't carry me through?
I'm so excited for all of you to be here and so thankful. My name is Rosario. I'll be your Zoom Café hostess program. Excited to share 10 pieces of work we'll be featuring from the previous sessions, artists as well as an emerging artist. The idea behind the cafe is to create this space together for artists, for art lovers all over the world to unite and have a place where we can inspire and we can connect with each other. I'd like to also introduce my co-hostess and tech and media support, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Rosario. I actually joined the play shops for the first time just about a year ago, and I thought I was signing up for a painting class, but it was so much more than that. I was at a stuck point with my creativity and hadn't been making art for fun for years, and coming to the sessions every week just helped me find my creative spark again. It was something I couldn't have done by myself. I had tried for a while to get back to art, but it was just the support of the community, hearing people talk about their own art, the inspiration. It helped me find that part of me again. It was like connecting almost to my younger self who was free and creating art for fun and exploring life. So I can't even believe how much I've changed over the past year from this. And I'm so excited to see the Zoom Cafe emerge from these play shops. And I can't wait to see what else comes from this community and, artists coming together. It's really such a powerful thing. So thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much. And of course, this is all possible through the discoveries that we've made together as a community and with the guidance of our master brewer, our master artist himself, Mr. Fusionartist Rassouli.
Thank you, Rosario. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. The idea of Zoom Cafe has sort of evolved through my life's journey in the art world. The very first question many people have is why we don't have female Michelangelo, why we didn't have female Picasso. We know that it's the feminine energy, feminine power that connects with the muse and is the base of creativity. Then how come women are not as creative or they haven't shown as much creativity as men? As I move deeper and deeper into the life of the artist, and as you know that I've been making so many videos of different artists, the ones that are not known, I began to realize what the reason is that the women are not known as creative as men. And that's all because of the gathering of the artists. No single artist throughout the history have made it so big like Michelangelo or Picasso or Monet. The reason that they made it was because they were in the gathering of the artists. The gathering of the group was making them. No single artist who was not connected with other artists has ever got anywhere. Maybe there is one or two exceptions, but this is not really the way it has been. So the idea is the gathering of the artists, which makes this synergy, brings those energies together. Otherwise, we are all equally creative. When you go to your closet in the morning to put your clothes on, you're creative. When we speak, we create it. When we walk, we create it. So everything that we do is creativity. Now, the whole idea is where we bring it together in our own power that we have within is making a difference between the artist and ordinary people. The cafe gathering was what really made the Impressionists. If they were not gathered in the cafe, they wouldn't have made it. Now, how come the women were not there? Because women were not allowed to come in the cafe. Or if they were, when there is a gathering of all men and a woman shows up, the whole system changes. So it's a gathering of the group without gender, which makes things happen. And the interesting part is all the female artists who've made it, they were either muse of famous artists, or they were their wives, or somehow they were related to be able to attend the gathering of the artists. So this is really an opportunity for women to get together with men all together, putting gender aside, and benefit from each other's creative power, creative energy, and creations. Nowhere we could do it better than this. In Paris, they had the cafe, but it was a small and just certain numbers of people could go there, and they were the people who were from Paris. But now we gather together from all over the world. So we have this Zoom Café that we share our artistic energy with each other. We began to introduce one artist every week, and the assignment was to look into what is exciting about this artist. It has nothing to do with technical ability. It has nothing to do with style. It could be, realistic to abstract, no matter, doesn't what it is. The important thing is how we communicate with each other from within. So the idea is to connect the hearts together, and connecting the hearts together happens when we are sharing our hearts. So our gathering has been and will continue in sharing our hearts with each other, and the influence is tremendous. I've been having retreats for over 25 years. When I started with the Zoom program, I thought, there's no feeling into it. But no, the interesting part is that the result of the gathering of the group together has been tremendous change in their artworks. The ones who never had even touched brush or paint have turned into amazing artists whose work is to communicate empowering statements. It's not to show technical ability. It's not about colors. It's not about forms. It's not about any of these. It's all about sharing the inner feeling and empowering each other. And God knows how much we need this now, to empower each other, to unify and be together. So this has been our program. Today we're going to be looking at several of the works the group have sent in. So we look at it, and I want you to be open to give your feeling about that painting. It's not about these are nice colors. It's not about this is a beautiful painting. It's not about any of these. is about what it does to you. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good? Does it empower you? If you feel that as you see it in the painting, share it. This is how we get to know each other and we bring our hearts together. So let's look at some of the works. And I would like the artist who painted it, if there's a message or they want to talk about it, just briefly, with one sentence, what was they saw? What was that they saw in the master, in the video, that impressed them and inspired them to paint this painting? They say that, and then we see what it in the painting inspires us. That we call inspirational art, which is the movement that we're taking, and we're becoming pretty successful in it, creating inspirational art, which is the art from within. So let's look at some of the works now.
This is by fusion artist Susanna Franek.
But I was inspired, actually, of course, by Marval, Jacqueline Marval. She's a testament to a lot of the injustice that was done to these women. And of course, we studied a lot of the women giants last year, and it was just so heartbreaking that they were so dismissed with so much disregard. And I found that they were often more brilliant than a lot of their male colleagues. So I was inspired by that.
Anybody wants to share anything that painting make you feel? Yeah, let's do that. So you would be open to just express how you feel about the painting.
There we go. Everybody should be allowed now. Just go ahead. If you want to share, just go ahead and click on your mic. Go ahead. I see Geeta ready to share.
No,
Yeah.
I thought you were unmuting everybody, but mine wasn't unmuted, so I did it myself. But
I just wanted to say that this painting, I think this painting is so powerful. It make me think, it make me feel definitely inspired, because it is the same time, it has simplicity, at the same time it is so advanced in a way. I mean, it's like, so, you know, I love the texture of those dresses.
It takes you through a range of emotion. Like if you look at the different women, it's like each one expresses something a little bit different. And for me, it's taking me through different feelings.
And to add on to what you just said, Marianne, it makes me feel good to look at it because I'm a woman. It makes me feel good as a woman. I like the way that the variety of the processes, of the emotional processes every one of these women are going through makes me feel very comfortable with it. Encompasses and enhances being a woman.
This feels very dreamlike, and in a dream, each image has a particular meaning to convey. And
the feeling I can capture from this painting is very powerful. Like everybody said, it's very powerful. It's the sensation of all the ambience are surrounded by the power of the woman's power, the women power. And at the same time, the figure in the bottom, laying down and rested, sure and secure, is like in between us. You can rest secure that we are going to take care of each other. The figure in the center shows me that is like in some way is in command of the rest of the group. I feel something like that, the leader.
That's what I see too, is very powerful women, not mothers, excuse me, and not wives, but powerful, the identity of a powerful woman.
Most of the time, the artist herself or himself doesn't even know what they're doing. And that actually is when they create their best of their work. So what comes out of it is going to communicate with you, not asking the intellectual question from the artist.
Next, we have fusion artist Lauren Medeiros, titled If We Listen. Lauren?
So this piece was inspired by Pierre Puvis de Chauvin, and what struck me about his artwork was the dreamy elements and how he captured emotions, and he used emotion like through the figures and also through natural elements like the earth. So I tried to do it with the human on the left and then have different sort of emotions with the colors of the background and the landscape.
I am in total serenity when I am looking at this. It's dreamland, it's serenity, it's feeling good about myself. It's the arm pointing back is very empowering and kind of taking it all in.
Yeah, I feel like it's divine surrender. I feel just surrender and self-love. Like Leslie said, that hand pointing towards, it looks like it's pointing towards the heart, to put your hand over your heart, just assuring of love.
I feel a lot of reverence, like sacredness when I look at this picture.
I think the title is very important. It leads you. It says, if you listen, or if I listen. In order to listen, what we have to do is what? Be quiet. It's that quiet invitation to that quiet before you can listen to the truth, to the message. Beautifully, beautiful, inspirational. Absolutely beautiful.
I would love to share as well. For me, the more I look at it, when I see those orange color at the end among all those purple, I see a feminine energy who's sad on what is happening on earth. To me, like that looks like a war between Israel and Palestine right now, and that Mother Earth is looking at us as humans, and like it's sad that that what we are doing to each other. It gave me that feeling.
It made me feel a lot of serenity and a little melancholy also, like it's in surrendering. Yeah, that's a feeling I perceive, makes me feel.
Yeah, the figure feels like it's an angel, some being outside planet Earth as it's floating and seeing the burning and the struggle that is taking place. So this whole connection with the title, which is, if you listen, is really to pay deep attention to what's going on in our world today.
Next, we have fusion artist Kate, titled Glow, inspired by Gaetano Previati's style of art and light.
I just tapped into something else. Gaetano Previati's work is so illuminating. His use of light and tapping into the divine just really reached me. He's become one of my new favorite artists.
I see such strength and power and the amazing energy that is there from the hair, from what is over her body, the long neck, the look on the face. It is all powerful, knowing, wise, and looking forward.
I feel honored to know this artist.
Hair, you're gonna make me cry.
I feel, Kate, that you tapped into the light, but the light also tapped into you. These lines are like electricity wires that have then sort of charged you up, and you're illuminating. Absolutely beautiful.
This is so beautiful.
Thank you for saying that, Kavita, because that's exactly what it feels. There is a vibration or energy that comes from the painting. It is light, very light. I wanted to say the lightness of your being, but then the vibrations are very strong and very moving, and they're very exciting and inspiring. And so it's just wonderful. Kate, this is just, you are actually manifesting something magnificent.
It's really beautiful. Kavita, I absolutely was feeling like the moment I saw the painting, I'm like, wow. Then I could feel all this, vibration in my own body. I'm like, why do I feel like that? And then when you mention it's like vibration and energy, I'm like, it's very powerful painting, Kate. That's amazing.
The painting feels like a union of the spirit and the body together.
Yeah.
Spirit is just floating and going every direction. And the body is all those detailed lines that you can see that is put together to make the skin. Very interesting connection that she has brought between the soul and the body together with the two different rhythms that she's used.
For me, it feels alive. It feels like it's moving when I look at it. It's not a still painting. It's actually vibrating when I'm looking at it and vibrating me at the same time.
That it has this feel, like the posture looks like surrender, and that's exactly like when she stepped into her power. When she surrendered, it's like that's when she lit up. That's what I see.
Kate, it reminds me so much of you as you have emerged throughout this entire 10 weeks, and that you are so connected and we are all so connected. It's a beautiful, beautiful painting.
Thank you. I don't think that I would have been able to produce something like this without this class. Like I like Lauren, I hadn't touched a paintbrush in forever. I was having a very difficult time finding the inspiration to create and the discipline too. But it took several classes over the weeks to get to a point where I could finally just let myself go, like surrender to whatever wanted to be created. So I'm really grateful for the experience.
See, painting is very easy. Anybody can paint. All you have to do is keep on practicing and you're a painter. It's not a special thing. You don't have to have a special talent or anything. Just practice a line, and after 10 times you learn how to do it. Practice mixing a color. After several times you know how to do it. That's not the issue that stops people from creating. Inspiration is what we're missing. You're going to be inspired in order to create. That's why all these great creative beings had their own muse. You have to have something to inspire you. That's why we have these weekly artists that we introduce, because there's something about them that suddenly inspires you. So, as Kate said, it's easy to learn to paint. She's learned it in about 10 weeks. But what she would be missing is the inspiration. If she keeps on getting inspired and creating, this is it. There's going to be another giant. Picasso used to just walk to the sea before the sunrise and would sit by the sea and watch the sunrise on the Mediterranean. And then after that, he would go back home. As he would be walking home, whatever inspired him the first time, that would be the inspiration for the painting that he would do. Whether it's a fishbone or a rock or whatever he could find. And even if he couldn't find anything, he would just buy a newspaper, day's newspaper, go home and start having breakfast while he would be, thinking about what he saw or what impressed him. If it's a newspaper, he looks for something to inspire him in the paper. Then he would sleep all day, and at night he would get up and start reflecting what had gone inside him as inspiration. So inspiration is what makes us paint. And this is what has happened to Kate in here.
Next we have fusion artist Reet. And this is titled, Are You Ready to Fly? I think we all are after seeing this.
It really makes me feel possibility. There's endless possibility.
Marianne, I was thinking the exact same thing, that this means anything is possible. You can see that last figure flying, and it just is total possibility.
Yeah, as if there's some kind of message there in that pool, and they're all just drawn into something really special and magical.
I love that idea of possibility and like anything is possible, because to me it brings me into another world and makes me question, like, it feels real. Like it looks like a different world at the same time as being like maybe it does really exist somewhere.
It just takes me to this possibility that maybe one day I will be where that many angels are right in front of me. How would it feel? And then also what you were saying about like a pool in there, this is like a spiral. Spiral is what represents life. And I mean, a moment of living in life with all of these angels and the feeling of flight and it's just awesome. It is so beautifully, so inspirational.
Some angels or holy beings in there connecting to this undefined space in there. But what really truly makes this painting stand out is that flying bird in that corner that suddenly takes your attention to it. Now we become involved with the story that is beyond just ordinary thing that we've seen. Now we go into the depth of what is going on in here. There are these beings connected together. They seem to be one soul all the way through. But then there is that standing bird that is freely flying. This is what makes the painting inspirational.
I have to say that one of the people we invited to the cafe and is watching texted me, I feel like they're looking into this portal, awaiting for souls to come through.
Something I like with this painting, and it's kind of pulling me back to Susanna's painting as well, that there are these groups of individuals. It's like everyone's individual. They're all connecting to something, and then collectively they're creating something beautiful. It's like you have this canvas that is a group of individuals. So they each have their own power. They each have their own individuality, but together, like the power that comes through the painting is epic. And I just, each time I look at Reet or Susanna's work, I feel that same thing. It's like you have the unity of all these individuals, and the individuals are celebrated each in their own, but then you just get to bathe in the collective. And I think that's so awesome.
I feel that these are angels that have descended from the sun and have come to embrace each and every one of us and carry us out into the outer stratospheres of ourselves.
For me, feels like this unification of not just all of us that have been part of this particular course, but then all of us that have come, all of the people that have come to join us in the Zoom Café, and then all that will continue to join us. It's, for me, it's really about a unification of fusion art.
I feel this energy of everybody supporting everyone else. Like you've gotten to this point and then one's taking off and everyone is sort of supporting everyone else as they put off on their journey.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Margie. Next, we have fusion artist Claire Goodwin. Claire Goodwin, The Prettiest. And you can share your inspiration if you like, Claire, if you're here.
Well, the inspiration changes all the time, doesn't it?
Yes.
And the truth is, I have been inspired by every other fusion artist at the play shop. And often each of you has come to mind or to heart as I paint. The artist probably most inspiring this was Montal, who had a soft, mystical palette. And he used metallic paints, and I love metallic paints. So, but the title has changed. Originally, it was The Prettiest, which is how my youngest daughter responded to it.
When I look at this, I feel like something has awakened, something has come alive, something has been inspired.
The ghost-like figures that you have created, the trees, the grouping down below, feels like the spirit as it's moving into the physical form, that it's just the spirit of the tree.
Rassouli, you took exactly my word. By the way, if this was, it reveals the spirit of it, the stone, the tree, the light of the divine, you just name it. That's what this is.
Claire, I really like you in the painting, actually. I would say it for me, it feels as if the heaven has come down to kiss the earth. And so the trees now have all of this heavenly energy in it. It's beautiful, really beautiful.
Kavita, your descriptions are like butter, like heavenly butter.
I was just thinking how much I missed Kavita.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. I missed you too.
Claire, this is so, I mean, oh my gosh. Like every time I come in to a play shop environment and I see each artist, they each give off a feeling. And this definitely is the feeling of you. It's just like this peaceful, like, it's okay. It's going to be okay feeling.
Beautiful. When I see, I'm a very dear friend of Claire's. When I see her art, I'm just pulled in, drawn in to the beauty that emerges in so many ways, so many colors and feelings that come through. This one, I'm drawn into that, the center of that light. And as someone else mentioned, that peaceful feeling, this beauty, the metallic colors. I think I don't paint, but the reflecting light shines off of everything that I see. And it helps me to feel really beauty and love within.
Next, we have fusion artist Rosario Cepeda. Speak truly yours truly. And this is titled The Women in Us, inspired by the last artist, Edward Burne-Jones, and just how he was draping everything. And I just thought of all of the muses in the play shop and how we're all really part of each other's journey.
I love this, Rosario. It really says it all. It encompasses every single one of us, and you too, as this divine woman that collects all of the art and puts it together in a divine and beautiful way, and in no small part really makes these play shops happen.
This is my favorite. Sorry.
Yeah. You've shown the womanhood in such a beautiful way, the mystery. The woman is in complete darkness, very mysterious as a female energy, yet within that pure darkness, pure black, you could feel the eyes, you could feel the eyebrows, you could even feel the expression on the face that is just all in a mysterious atmosphere. And this is really what makes it very feminine painting. the energy is all within this hidden environment.
The freedom of your brush strokes, the way your hand moves is amazing. That is just, the freedom, you're creating a freedom of the woman, you're creating the freedom in here. And then the woman emerged, it looks like, because you had, your movement was so free. It is just awesome.
Thank you.
I've loved how there's no facial expression. I love that because I feel like we as women, we can say so much without saying anything. And this just says it all. And it looks like we can all communicate with each other and we know what we're saying without ever saying a word. And I feel like this is kind of that as a feminine, like that we're able to speak without speaking. And I love that.
Rosario, I always love your paintings, particularly the strength and the power, as Gitty said, of your brush strokes. They land with such confidence and affection. It's beautiful, really beautiful.
Thank you so
What
much.
it makes me feel is the huge amount of light coming from within that woman. And it starts actually, for me, with the beautiful hair that is full of color. And then with what surrounds her head is all light and energy. And it's very pure and looking forward. It really makes me, well, I guess the word is it makes me feel empowered.
I get a lot of indigenous energy from this painting. Like it can go back through the eons and connect with nature, like the blue of the ocean and the creativity coming out of her mind. It just, for me, I get, also an ancient feeling that it can go back through time from the creativity and the strength and wisdom of all women throughout the ages.
Yeah, Art said in the comments that it reminded him of Sedona, so maybe that's some of the indigenous feelings coming up there.
I think there's a lot of wisdom here, and I felt the same thing about the indigenous, the profile. It just feels very grounded in that tradition, and it. I feel your wisdom, Rosario, in this.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here with all of you. Next, I have fusion artist Cheryl Cummings, titled Hope, also inspired by painter Puvi Dishavan's painting Hope.
Yes, I painted this. It was I saw a lack in the surroundings, and I wanted to paint a painting that reflected the word hope. And it's a garden setting. A young girl adorned in a luminous white gown gracefully stands amidst white flowers, symbolizing innocence and the sense of hope.
There's such a nice, peaceful environment you've created. She is in total peace and surrendered feeling, and so are the flowers and the landscape and the tree. Everything seems to be in the flow of the universe.
I love the softness of her dress. It just makes it feel like she's blending in with nature and part of the flowers.
She feels very luminescent, like she's ethereal. Like, is that a real person, or is it, a vision of a person there? Because she feels, so at one with her surroundings.
It feels like something is emerging, and that thing is like revelation, perhaps maybe an awakening. It's not a physical, it is an awakening more than receiving a message. Kind of like surrendered herself into the universe, into the divine.
I feel nostalgic.
Some of the comments in the chat are, it makes me wonder, Cheryl, is this heaven on earth? From Stella, very peaceful feelings and innocence. It makes me feel grounded, love. And it grants my soul enlightenment and purpose of my grandness, so much gratitude. The last one I have is fusion artist Michelle Silverman, titled The Seven Mothers.
I think in the truest spirit of the play shop, I was inspired by Edward Burne-Jones and all the design features, and literally just played. And I spoke about it recently, where all of us were coming together and supporting one of our fusion artists. And like mothers, I set them to have to all be together as one. And really, I just literally played with the design features, played the entire week that I did this painting with all kinds of dolls and things, and then it manifested on the two-dimensional painting. It was just a blast.
Yeah, it looks like a blast, yeah.
To me, it's like an alternative kind of beauty contest that just debunks anything like from what we usually think of, because these women are just in their power, in their essence, and they're so beautiful, and their wardrobe, their costume, their dress is just fantastic.
Yeah, Michelle, I feel held in the heart, in the central figure, which I believe is you.
You have created a group of women from a rainbow of colors. They seem to be filled with light from within, and their expression comes into these different colors that you have brought about. Even on the faces, each one has its own expression.
Thank you so much, everyone.
To create and keep it in your closet is not going to inspire you. When you create, you want to share. The reason you create is because you want to share. So sharing becomes very important, and that is where takes us in the Zoom Café to the next level, which is sharing our works. We're going to be leading into bringing performing art into the cafe as well. So we have dance, music, songs, whatever, as we move on forward. Now emphasis is on painting, but we go in different levels. So now, when we look into sharing, how do we share? We've been sharing on YouTube, and now our followers have gone over 700,000. So we're really building up sharing. And here is one of our artists' work that we share on YouTube as we develop more and more into next level. This week, we are introducing the inspirational art of emerging fusion artist Bhavani. She is an American painter who was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. In her inspirational paintings, Bhavani creates order and beauty in chaotic environments. Her artistic approach is to inspire viewers to find creative solutions in any disordered situation through perseverance and patience. Bhavani's paintings are filled with unrealistic motifs that she paints in a plain style using variety of mediums from acrylics, oils, watercolors, and pastels to plain pencil and pen drawings. Sometimes she uses three-dimensional objects to complete her canvases. Bhavani creates imaginary world of fantasy. Even the natural elements in her art appear to have their own charm outside our visual world. She fuses metaphors and symbols with fantastic aura and soulful floral designs in her artworks. Bhavani paints ideas and dreams that lead to the healing of the inner child. She is not concerned with accurate definitions. She depicts purity of human spirit by removing the covers that are veiling their innocence. Bhavani considers her paintings transformational heart art. Her paintings expose a sense of mystical that connects us with dream and poetry rather than actuality. People in Bhavani's paintings are in silent contemplation. She sees art as a divine energy that belongs to everyone. As she paints, she dances and sings and dives deeper into exploring and expressing her creativity in many unique ways. Bhavani was born as Mary Denise in 1952. The name Bhavani, which means life-giver in Sanskrit, was given to her by the spiritual teacher Shunyamurti. Distressed by the contrasting world of ever-changing landscapes of extremes, Mary Denise left home at 18 to stay away from the family chaos. She married very young to an older man whom she didn't love. The marriage was a disaster that put her into depression. One day, while busy drawing, she thought she must do something else with her life. So she entered in Kendall College of Art and Design. After graduation, she took the profession of commercial interior designer. At the same time, she began painting on rugs to match forms and colors of the interior spaces. After having gone through a chaotic life that included her father's abandoning his wife and 5 children, her having to work hard to survive from adolescence on, twice marrying men who hated women, she finally found her direction in art among the fusion artists. Her mission is to inspire people through creating paintings that are a reflection of her own life of finding order in chaos. She sees inspirational paintings as intimate friends that never lie. So that's the work of one of our artists, Bhavani. And the message that she has for humanity is something that she has lived with throughout her life. A life which started with chaos and kept on being chaotic to the point where she decides that enough is enough. And she moves into recreating herself into a beautiful being that everybody could benefit from. This she reflects in her paintings. Every one of her paintings shows that same reflection, how we would find peace, order, and beauty in chaos. So she is not an impressionist painter who would look at a flower and paint it. It's all past. That was over 100 years of watching impressionist flowers and still life with apples and all of the things that it was all surface oriented. It's enough of the skin. It's enough of the surface. We gotta get deeper within. And this is what her paintings reflect. She doesn't sit and paint a tree. She expresses her emotion about the tree as she discovers it through the chaotic world around us. Great lesson for today as how we could begin to see beauty and bring it together.
I would just want to say, Bhavani, that I think, there's the fact that you've allowed to grieve. To me, your paintings have so much, the grieving process that brings the humanity out in all of us. That's what I sense. They're just so deep.
Yeah, I felt incredibly moved, and just seeing the collection of the art too in this way. It's a story, it's a tapestry, but they're just so deep, like you said, and so incredibly moving. Thank you, Bhavani.
Thank you, Bhavani.
Sorry.
Well, I feel quite humbled to be able to enter into your world, and I feel like I understand your art so much more in your experiences. Thank you.
It brings me to tears to see your art. I am so proud of you and all of the work you've done in your soul to create this. And it's not only, I'm sure, healing for you, but healing for me. And I'm really grateful for you. I'm proud. Couldn't be more proud of you. Thank you for sharing.
It gives us all hope, no matter what part of a journey that we're in. We can see hope in front of us because we have seen someone recreate themselves out of chaos and into the joy that we all ought to have. And yet sometimes it's hard to get to. But again, it's possibility. It's hope.
And it's done with such beauty and grace. The depth cannot be denied in those works of art. But I just think they're incredibly beautiful.
Yes, Bhavani, thank you for the gift of sharing your work with us and sharing so openly and with such vulnerability. It's truly inspiring.
Thank you so much. I'm going to just share some of the beautiful comments from Rachel. Powerful bearing witness to the way that our stories are woven through one another. Thank you, Bhavani, for your soul sharing. A thought-provoking, expressive, and genuine expression of what it feels like to be a woman. Such a beautiful work from a beautiful human. Healing for humanity. It's a great honor to see your body of work. She is an extraordinaire, amazing artist. So special to be here to see so many of your beautiful and inspiring works. Amazing work, Bhavani, so expressive. Also, wonderful presentation of her work, Dad. She is extraordinaire, one amazing artist. Wow, Bhavani, thank you for sharing so powerful and expressive paintings. I love it. So beautiful. I'm so proud of your beauty and you have created, Mom. So beautiful. So they keep going.
Wow.
May I speak a
Sure.
bit?
Sure.
Okay. Well, thank you, Master Rassouli and Rosario and everyone. I'm really, as I say quite often in the play shops, I don't really have the words. I learned this. Some of my original sisters are here. My beautiful daughters are here, Maggie and Colleen. I did a painting, the twins, about them. And then some of my sisters, Rebecca and Katie, and some of them, others that we did art together. And we made an agreement we wouldn't say anything. We would just witness it. And to me, to be able to be found by the play shops and Master Rassouli and not even really realize almost a year and a half later that I had so much to let go of, that I had so much sadness and I had so much that I had to say. And I don't know, it's this very powerful stuff. And I still stumble and bumble with words, but for some reason, when I get in front of a canvas, it becomes very clear what wants to come up and out and speak. So I'm letting go of talking. I'm enjoying listening for the first time in my life. Just listening and witnessing. And so I don't know, I'm amazed at the paintings myself. It's like incredible. It's incredible. What is this? What is this force, this power that's there? And it's like, I don't know. I always say hope is dope. So I don't know if I want to believe in hope, but the word inspiration, I feel inspired. And thank you again. I love it that your daughter is here, Rassouli and Giddy, and you all feel like a huge family, and you are. It's weird with Zoom. I never thought I could be a Zoom person, but here I am speaking from my heart on Zoom. It's so crazy. So anyway, I wish I could just reach into each box and give every one of you a hug and a kiss, because I just love you all. And I can't wait to start painting later today. It is the ultimate therapy. And I believe it's one of the ways that the world will be healed if you're called to that. So thank you. Truly.
Bhavani, thank you, Bhavani, for who you are.
Yeah.
Because our world, especially now, needs a lot of people like you. We need to get out of this whole chaotic state. And the only ones who can lead us are not politicians, they're not religion, they're not any of those. Is the art that brings our hearts together. We need that desperately. How can we let the world know that? We need to be moved from within. Otherwise, we're going to be facing more wars and more killing and more hatred. We need to get our hearts together. This is our mission. If we don't do it, who is going to do it? Who is going to do it? We're the one who can share our emotion, feeling, the positiveness of what we are as human beings with other people. We were born as human beings to be the master of the universe, not to fight with each other all the time. This is our mission, and thank you for being a part of this mission.
I'd love to just speak to also the role of the master teacher that Mary has been for so many of us in our community. She has taught me how to love and hold on to the Divine Mother in me. She has helped me. I loved your words, Rassouli, about unveiling the innocence of the divine child. And she has been just an incredible guide for so many who are discovering their creative power. So I'm deeply bowing to you, Bhavani, and thank you so much.
Let's support each other. This is not about showing off. This is not about making money. This is not about any of this. This is just acting like a human being. Just acting like a human being. The tree has its own tree, has its own shade and fruit and oxygen and gives it to us. But do we do what we're supposed to do as human? Do we do humaning? No, we're not. Why aren't we? Because the ego has been so large, so tremendous. This is the time for womanhood to take over. We have had enough of ego fighting against each other. Men have to fight. It's a part of their being. They've got to fight with each other. They've got to, compete with each other because they want to move forward. But women are the one who hold everything together, unite everything. This is the time. This is the time. Don't let it by. Don't just be a consumer of CNN and Fox News. Be yourself, be who you are, and act upon it, and show something that would be pride and honor of your children and grandchildren and the future. This is what we owe our life, our society, our being. This is why we gather together in the cafe. So we build up on this cafe more and more.
I just want to say that there's an old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I think that there would be a lot less chaos and suicides and stuff if people were able to just express themselves in some way, whether, painting or whatever it is that, that's the first thing they take out of school, which, angers me so much because I think that the arts are more important many times than many of the other classes. And I am just so happy to see this woman's paintings, because I think that even if people were very frustrated and angered, they could look at these pictures and see themselves and release some of their emotions just by knowing there's somebody else who's been through what they're going through. So I just feel that her paintings just say so much about the world we're in, and that how much importance art is, because it just is such a healing thing for most of us.
Totally, completely.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I have Bruce and Patricia also with their raised hands.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Bruce. Bhavani's been my partner for the last 30 years. So I, have experienced all the hours that she's spent down in her art cave and painting all these phenomenal, beautiful pictures. It's been such a joy to be with her, just not the way that she does art, but the way that she does everything else, from the inspiration and the meditation and everything. And Rassouli, I really appreciate your comments a few minutes ago about the feminine energy and what really is needed in this world, without me repeating what you said. I resonate with it, and we need this. We need this energy that this art, that all of your art is giving, so that it's just not a matter of hey, who can be more powerful and control with the money. So, and that's being said from somebody who was a financial professional for 40 years. So I thank you all from the innermost part of my heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Patricia?
Hey everyone, I'm Patricia or Patricia. Thank you, Susanna, for inviting me. It's been a long time that I haven't connected with you all, but I'm so moved. I'm so moved by this video. And I feel like it was hypnotic, and there was something in my belly that just started, just something very visceral there as I was watching these these paintings, and the voice and the story together. That fusion was just, it kind of like was like a volcano in my stomach, and it went up. I felt like I was gonna throw up, honestly. It was so intense, and I just feel like something happened in me watching this, like a real, like in that moment, transformation. And I haven't been moved by art like that in a many years, and I'm so grateful I got here when I was late. But I think just something woke up in me that's been asleep for so long, and I don't think I've maybe ever been moved like that in my life by art. And these paintings are so powerful. They tell so many stories of so many people, of so many times that we live in now, times that have been forgotten and shouldn't be forgotten, because it tells the story of us again. And it's just remarkable, someone who went through so much that could put all that into paintings. And I'm just in love with this experience. It's like, wow, like I still want to throw up, but I know that it's just maybe some stuckness that was there holding me back. So I can't, like, I'm just kind of dizzy even. So thank you. I hope I don't mean that this is a bad experience. It's like just incredible. It's like a birth for me. So I'm so grateful to be here and witness that. And it felt like a guided meditation, honestly. All these pictures told my story, told the stories of people I know. Like, it was so powerful. Thank you for the courage of not painting something nice, not painting something that someone would like, but painting the truth with the forms of whatever came out for you. It's like so brave, and so, I don't have the words. So thank you so much. I'm just incredibly grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. So we're going to be growing the Zoom Café and offering a few different possibilities for people to participate, a few different levels depending on what resonates for you and how you'd like to be involved in the community moving forward. So one possibility is just to receive the recordings if you'd like to watch what people are talking about and follow the artists. And then a second level would be if you'd like to attend the events and participate in the discussion, but not submit art yourself, but you'd like to talk about other people's art and share your thoughts and reflections on people's art. And then the third level would be if you'd like to follow along and create your own art and submit that as well. So you'd attend the sessions and talk about your art each week. That option is available too. And we'll be emailing more information to anybody who's interested in hearing more about it. But to gauge some interest, if you could leave a yes in the chat box so we can see who to send more information to, that would be awesome. And everyone who expresses interest by typing in the chat will also offer you like a free first class to the upcoming spring play shop with Rassouli. So we'll send you more information about that as well. Thanks so much.
To leave you with a fabulous memory, this is our regular program. Every week we introduce an artist that not too many people know about them. And that becomes the inspiration for the painting of the week. So every one of our fusion artists would be getting inspired with this particular artist and do their own version of how they want to express their emotion. So here is the artist that we introduced for this week to enjoy and learn from this artist that not too many people even know about. The master to inspire this week's painting is Jacqueline Marval. She was a French painter who lived between the years 1866 and 1932. Inspirational paintings of Jacqueline Marval are colorful and passionate. They are unique in the application of wild brushwork and the use of strong colors. To her, the feeling expressed in a work of art drives from the state of the artist's soul. The uniqueness of her art is not in the subject matter, but in the painting itself. She accomplishes harmony in the grouping of lines and colors. Jacqueline Marval's images are simple, unique, and strong at the same time. Her inspirational paintings have an expressive power beyond representation. She rejects reality by breaking the rules and giving thickness to her images by means of color and brushstrokes. Figures in Marval's paintings are depicted in a natural state and relaxed attitude. She uses bright colors to give her works joyful and luminous atmosphere. They inspire us to experience freedom and spontaneity. She defies her period's moral convention and emphasizes her own independence by painting the naked women very openly. Marval's inspirational art awakens a heightened romantic and poetic feeling in our heart. Her canvases reflect the ideas that art and life are inseparable from each other. Jacqueline Marval was born as Marie Josephine Vallée in Grenoble, France. During the early part of her life, she worked as a modest seamstress who had very little interest in art. After a difficult marriage and divorce, she moved to Paris when she was 29 years old. While living with an artist companion who was a student of Gustave Moreau, she became interested in painting. She took the first three letters of her first name, Marie, and her last name, Vallée, and combined them into Marval as her artistic name. After painting regularly for 5 years, she decided to exhibit her works, but she was refused at the Salon of 1900. Marval did not get discouraged and created more paintings until a year later she was accepted to exhibit her work. During her exhibit in the Salon, several collectors bought some of her paintings, and gallery owners invited her to exhibit her works in their galleries. From then on, Marval took off and exhibited internationally in Europe, the United States, and Asia. Near the end of her life, Marval gradually withdrew from society and died in poverty and extreme loneliness in 1932. Her work was quickly forgotten. It was not until the feminist movements of the 20th century that Marval regained her place in the art world. Today, the art historians have begun to show a renewed interest in the poetic and colorful universe of this free-spirited artist whose works influenced the rise of Cubism and a refocusing on structure and organized forms. All right, that's your inspiration for the week. We're going to be closing the cafe now, and it would reopen first Saturday in April. This was just a test. We wanted to see how we can develop the cafe, and with your help, we're going to expand it to hopefully getting thousands and thousands of people benefit from our gathering and the creation that comes from it. Before we close, is there any question, anything you want to share?
We love you and thank you for putting this, hosting this together. Thank you, Rosario and Lauren, too.
Yes, I wanted to say the same. A very big thanks. What a beautiful, special space you've created for us.
I wanted to say thank you again, Rassouli and Rosario and everyone. Words are beyond the love and the emotion that I feel in this moment. They're really not enough to say thank you. Just isn't enough. So, but I had to try. Thank you.
We just do what we should do as human beings. We're not doing anything exceptional. This is just as simple as what a tree does for people. And that's all we do. Rosario, has taught me a lesson that I want to share with you. She loves facing challenges. She loves that. Every time that a challenge comes to her, I see she gets excited and she feels good. And I want to end up with this word from the great master himself, Picasso, who said, I do things that I don't know how to do. And that is how I learn. Have a beautiful spring and see you in next Zoom Café, first Saturday in April.